Hi and welcome to this video on inequalities, maths made simple. Now in this video we're going to try and make the understanding of inequalities a little bit easier for students because a lot of students are scared of these because they don't know what it means. So let's just go over that. Inequalities use symbols like this one, which means greater than. The other way around, it means less than. Here we've got a little line with the symbol, and this means equal to or greater than. Here again we've got a little line making a little equal sign, and this means less than or equal to. Where we have this inequality symbol, the larger side or the bigger side is the bigger number. So if we had the x on this side, this would mean x is greater than. Here we've got the little side over here. If we had an x over on this side, this would mean x is less than. If x was here, this means x is equal to or greater than. If x was here, this means x is equal to or less than. Inequalities are used in algebra, and all the usual rules of algebra apply except when you multiply or divide by a negative number. And when you do that, when you divide or multiply by a negative number, you have to flip the inequality sign, in that you have to turn it the other way round. Okay, now this here is x is greater than 6, but look at this as well. The x is on the bigger side, so this also is x is greater than 6. So remember how to read these inequalities. Both of these are x is greater than 6. On a number line, when we write x equals 2, we write it as a circle, which is a solid circle, and this means that we include that number. So this x equals 2 means we have the 2 included in our solutions. So x equals 2 and x is greater than 2. So all these numbers to the left are in the solutions, including 2. 2 is a solid circle. Here we have is x less than 2. So when something is less than, there's no equal sign, and we have an empty circle or a circle with a dot in the middle. And here we have the solutions to this inequality, which is all the numbers to the left, which are all less than 2. Here we have minus 3 is less than x, or x is greater than minus 3. So our minus 3, there's no equal sign. It's going to be a empty circle or a circle with a dot in the middle. And then x is greater than minus 3, so we're going in this direction to the right. And then our other side, it says x is equal to or less than 2. So 2 solid circle because we've got this equal sign, and we're going to the left. And this between these two circles is the solution to this inequality. All these numbers are the solution. Algebra with inequalities. So if we're going to do our algebra, try and think of it to make it easier as equals first and then just continue with the inequality. So if we have x plus 4 is less than 2, think of it first of all as x plus 4 equals 2. What would we do? With minus 4 on each side if we're asked to solve this. So remember to do what we did on this side to the other side of the equal sign. So minus 4 gets rid of the plus 4. We got x. 2 minus 4 is minus 2. Okay, so we've got the same thing, but with an inequality here. X plus 4 is less than 2 rather. So again, we do the same. Do onto this side of the inequality sign what we do onto the other side. So do the same. X plus 4, we want to get rid of the plus 4, so minus 4. Minus 4 on the other side of the inequality sign. So this leaves us with x. 2 minus 4 is minus 2, and the inequality sign remains the same. Okay, so x is less than minus 2. When we draw on our number line, the end point is not included. There's no equals here. So we have a hollow circle or a circle with a dot in the middle, and then these are the solutions to the left of the circle. We're going to solve this inequality. 4 minus x is greater than 0. So if we plus x on this side, we have to plus x on the other side. We get rid of this minus x by this. So this leaves us with 4 is greater than, and here we have x. So x is less than 4. So our 4, there's no equal sign. We've got an empty circle, or a circle with a dot in the middle. And everything to the left of this circle is a solution to this inequality. 5x plus 1 is equal to or less than 4x minus 2. So we want to be left with an x on one side, so let's get rid of this x here by minus 4 on the other side. Minus 4x, 4x minus 4x gets rid of that, leaves us with minus 2. 5x minus 4x leaves us with an x, and then the plus 1. Our inequality remains the same because we're not dividing or multiplying by a negative. Then we're going to get rid of this plus 1 by minus 1 on this side of the inequality, and the same to the other side. So minus 1, this leaves us with x. Minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3. Inequality sign remains the same. So we've got this equal sign on the minus 3. So our minus 3 is a solid circle, and our solutions, x is less or equal to, so they're going to lie to the left of this circle, and this solid means that the minus 3 is included in the solution. Here we're going to solve two separate inequalities and just see the difference between them. So 3x is greater than 6. To get rid of the 3 multiplied by x, we divide by 3. So have to do the same to the other side of the inequality. So this leaves us with 3x divided by 3 is x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Inequality remains the same. 2, because we haven't got the equal sign, is a hollow circle, and our answers, our solutions, lie to the right of the circle. So these would be all the solutions, not including 2. Minus 3x is greater than 6. To get x by itself, divide by minus 3 on both sides of the inequality, we get x. Now we've divided by a minus number, so we've got to flip this inequality sign. So we get x is minus 2 with this inequality sign flipped, so x is less than minus 2. This is shown on the number line here. One way of thinking about this is if we have 6 is greater than 2, and then we multiply this inequality by minus 1, we get minus 6. Then we multiply by a minus, so we flip the sign, becomes the other way around, so it becomes minus 6 is less than minus 2. And this makes sense. Minus 6 is less than minus 2. We had to reverse the inequality for it to be true. So remember, divide or multiply by minus, reverse the inequality sign. Minus 14 is less than 4x plus 2. We're going to get rid of this plus 2 first by subtracting 2 on both sides of the inequality. We get left with 4x on this side, minus 14 minus 2 minus 16. I want to be left with a 4x by itself, so divide by 4. Divide by 4 on the other side. So this leaves us with x minus 16 divided by 4 minus 4, shown here on the number line. 4x plus 2 is equal to or less than 14. Get rid of the 2 by minusing 2 on both sides of the inequality. Leaves with 4x is equal to or less than 12. Want to be left with x by itself. Divide by 4 on each side of the inequality. Get x is equal to or less than 3, which is shown here. Because we've got this equal sign, we've got a solid circle. Now, if we want the solutions to both of these combined, it's the overlap we've got here. So our 3 would be a solid circle, our minus 4 would be a empty circle, and this line connecting the two, the overlap of these two, is the solution to the two inequalities. Sometimes in an exam we're asked to graph inequalities. Where we have this equal sign, or less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, we on graphing the inequality we use a solid line. If we don't have the equals, then we just have less than, or we just have greater than, we use a dotted line. Always try and get the equation in the form y equals mx plus c, and then draw a line, and then use the test point 0, 0 to see if it's included, and that shows us which side we should shade. So here we've got the inequality y is equal to less than minus x minus 3. So we can draw this line. There's an equal sign, so it's going to be a solid line. Draws a couple of points, so we know it's going to cross the axis at minus 3, the y-axis, and then choose another point for our x. Make a point and draw a solid line. Once we've drawn this solid line, then we choose this point 0, 0, put this in for y and x, so we get 0 is equal to or less than 0 minus 3. So 0 is equal to or less than minus 3? No, it isn't. That's false. So this point is not included in our solutions. So we know that this side of the line is included, and we can shade that line. So any points in this area that we've shaded are solutions. We've got y is greater than minus 2x minus 5. Think of this as y equals minus 2x minus 5. Draw a couple of points. There's no equal sign in this inequality, so we draw it as a dotted line. Choose this point 0, 0. Substitute that into our inequality here. We get y, which is 0, is greater than minus 2, 0, which is 0, minus 5. 0 is greater than minus 5. So yes, 0 is greater than minus 5. So 0, 0 is the solution. So this lies in the area that our solution lines. So we're going to shade this area of our dotted line. Okay. So all the points in the shaded right side of the dotted line are solutions. Here we're going to graph two lines. We've been given two inequalities, and then we want to find the solutions to both of those. So first of all, let's take this inequality, y is greater than minus 2x plus 4, and we're going to draw our dotted line. This crosses the y-axis at plus 4. Choose another point, say here at 5, plot our point and draw our dotted line. There's no equal sign, so it's a dotted line. Then decide which area to shade using our point 0, 0. So we're going to use this point, put it into our inequality. So this becomes 0 is greater than 4, which isn't true. So this doesn't lie in our solutions. So we're going to shade this side of our dotted line. So let's just do that. Okay, so all the points here are a solution to this inequality. Now we're going to use the next inequality, which is y is equal to or greater than x minus 2. This is going to be this solid line, crosses the y-axis at minus 2, and then follow the same procedure, use our point 0, 0, put y equals 0 in here and x equals 0, and we get 0 is equal to or greater than minus 2, which it is. So our point here is included in our solutions. So draw our lines, and where the lines become hatched, where this dotted line, the earlier shading and this shading, we get two lots of shading combined, we get these hatched lines. That's our solutions to the two inequalities. Double inequalities. So here we've got a double inequality. One is less than x plus 4, which is equal to or less than 3. Make sure you balance all three sides. So what we're going to do here is get rid of the plus 4. So minus 4 here in the middle, minus 4 on this side of the inequality, minus 4 on this side of the inequality. So we need to do minus 4 here, minus 4 here, minus 4 here. The inequality signs remain the same, so we've got minus 3. 1 minus 4 is minus 3. X plus 4 minus 4 remains as x. 3 minus 4 is minus 1. So this minus 1 is a solid circle on the number line because it's got this equal sign. This minus 3 is a hollow circle or a circle with a dot in the middle. And the line in between is our solution, so including minus 1. So our solution is minus 2, minus 1. Here we've got another double inequality. Again, make sure you balance all three sides. So we're going to get rid of this plus 2 by minus 2 on all three sides. Minus 2 here, minus 2 here, minus 2 here. Minus 10 minus 2 minus 12. Left with 6x here. 20 minus 2 is 18. Inequality signs, make sure they remain the same. 6x we want as just as x, so we divide by 6 on all three sides. Minus 12 divided by 6 minus 2. This got x. 18 divided by 6 is 3. 3 is a solid circle. Minus 2 is an empty circle or a whole circle. And the line joining 2 is our solutions, including the 3. When we've got an inequality involving a quadratic term, that means like an x squared. So here we've got x squared is less than 4. We have to square root here to get the x. And remember, when we square root of something, we're left with a minus and a plus as our answers or our solutions. So the solution is written as the square root of 4 is minus 2 and 2. So x lies between minus 2 and 2. So x is minus 2 is less than x, and x is less than 2. Shown here on the number line, and represented by the solutions are represented by this line connecting the two empty circles. So if we've got x squared is greater than 4, then we've got this here, that we've got minus 2 and 2, and then the solutions to this lie on the left side here and on the right side of 2, not in the middle. And we've got to take care when we do these quadratic terms and finding the inequalities where our solutions lie. Do they lie in the middle or do they lie outside these two endpoints? So how we decide that is we take a solution or a number in the middle and we use that as a test point. And say if we used a test point of 1 here, we'd get 1 is greater than 4, which isn't true. So this is the wrong region. So for x squared is greater than 4, the solutions lie here and here. So to the right of our test point, our end point, and to the left of our end point. So like we're talking about these endpoints that are easy to get from when we got x squared is greater than 4. But what if we have a full quadratic? So we've got something in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So if we've got something like this as an inequality, then put it in this form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Factorize it. So we look for the factors of minus 4, which add or subtract to give us minus 3, and we get plus 1 and minus 4. So x plus 1 and x minus 4 are the roots. Inequality remains the same, it's greater than 0. So our solutions, our roots are this. Our solutions are minus 1 and x equals 4. So this gives us our endpoints, minus 1 and 4. To get that, we make each bracket equal to 0. So x plus 1 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0, like we would do in a normal quadratic. So now we have to decide where our solutions lie. Do they lie between these endpoints or do they lie outside the endpoints? So what we have to do here is we have to choose points. So here we've got 3 as the point in between our test points, as a test point in between our two circles, our two hollow circles. And then we got this point -2, so we've chosen that as outside here. So where does our solution lie? So if we put this into our equation here, using 3, here we get 4, so 3 plus 1 is 4, 3 minus 4 is -1, 4 multiplied by -1 is -4 is greater than 0, which isn't true, so our solution doesn't lie in between these two circles. If we use -2, we get -1 multiplied by -6, which is 6. 6 is greater than 0, which is true. So our solutions lie to the right here of this empty circle and to the left of the circle, and does not include these points -1 and 4. Doesn't include those numbers. Okay, so I've shown this on our number line. Sometimes we can be asked as inequalities as word problems, and we have to be able to make sense of them and write them down as inequalities. So it's quite important to be able to read an inequality and then translate this into words, or read words and translate this into an inequality. So we're going to do this here with word problems. So Julie makes bracelets and earrings to sell on the market to pay for her holidays. Julie sells the bracelets for £2. So we're going to use B to equal 1 bracelet, and earrings for £5. We're going to use E to stand for a earring, and she must make at least £600. So 2B, 2 bracelets plus 5E, 5 earrings, and we want to make at least, so at least is equal to or greater than £600. So it becomes 2B plus 5E is greater than or equal to 600. Here in another word problem, hockey game, Abdul scores 3 more goals than Stuart. Together they scored less than 9 goals, so this is important. This is our inequality, less than. Our 9 goals is our total at the end of the inequality. What is the possible number of goals scored by Abdul? So if we have the number of goals scored as this one scored by Stuart, so Stuart and Abdul's goals are going to be less than 9. Now Stuart's is this one here is Stuart's goals plus 3. So we have S plus 3 is less than 9. This becomes 2S plus 3 is less than 9. And when we want to solve this, we get rid of the plus 3 by minusing on both sides of the inequality. So this becomes 2S is less than 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. So divide through by 2 to get rid of this 2. So divide here by 2. So S is less than 3. So there's no equal sign here, so we're not going to include the 3 in our solution. So Stuart scores less than 3, which is 0, 1, 2 goals, 0, 1 or 2, and Abdul then scores 3, 4 or 5. Okay. Samira has £80 and she wants to purchase a beauty set for £16. The rest of the money she wants to spend on earrings, and each pair of earrings costs £8. Write an inequality and how many earrings she can buy. So we have earrings costing £8, so that's 80, plus our £16, which she's going to spend £16 on, so that's plus 16, and that's got to be equal to or less than 80. So we have to get rid of this 16, so we minus 16 on both sides. 8E is less than or equal to 64. 80 minus 16 is 64. To solve this, we have to divide through both sides by 8. So 64 divided by E is equal to or less than 8. So she can purchase with her £80 this beauty set for £16, and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and she can, this is included in our solutions because it's got this equal sign, 8 pairs, so up to 8 pairs of earrings.